Hey everyone, welcome back to BikeBeat. Today we're going to spend some serious time with the 2026 Harley-Davidson Iron 1200. This isn't going to be a quick overview or a highlight reel, this is a deep dive. We're going to explore where this bike comes from, how it fits into Harley's world, what it feels like to ride, what it looks like in detail, and of course, how much it will cost you if you're thinking about bringing one home. Think of this as your full audio tour of everything the Iron 1200 has to offer in its 2026 form. The Iron 1200 has always been part of Harley's Sportster family, and that alone carries weight. The Sportster is a nameplate that's been around since the late 1950s, and over the decades it became Harley's smaller, more affordable, more approachable line, but with a personality all its own. When the Iron 883 showed up in the late 2000s, it was all about stripped-down, blacked-out minimalism. The Iron 1200 built on that formula with more displacement, more torque, and a slightly more aggressive attitude. So when we talk about the 2026 Iron 1200, we're really looking at a bike that's part of a long tradition, a bike that's carried countless new riders into the Harley world, and a bike that seasoned riders still pick because it's such a solid platform to make their own. Now, the heart of the bike remains a 1,200 cubic centimeters air-cooled V-twin. Harley calls this the Evolution engine, and it's been around for decades. But don't think of it as outdated, think of it as refined. Harley has had years to iron out quirks, polish the fueling, and balance performance with durability. In the 2026 Iron 1200, you still get that strong low-end torque that's perfect for city riding. Peak torque is still around 73 ft-lb, but the delivery feels smoother than earlier versions, with more usable pull right off idle. You twist the throttle and the bike lunges forward with that unmistakable Harley growl, and it does it without drama or hesitation. Rider aids are now part of the equation too. You've got standard ABS, which is table stakes in this era, and depending on your trim, traction control and selectable riding modes. They don't turn the Iron 1200 into a tech-heavy touring rig, but they do give you just enough safety net and flexibility to adapt the bike to different conditions. If it's raining, you'll appreciate a softer throttle response. If you're carving through dry backroads, switch it back to street mode and enjoy the rawer connection. Suspension has gotten some love as well. Previous Iron 1200s were notorious for being firm in the rear, those twin shocks would let you feel every bump and pothole. The 2026 version still keeps the twin shock setup, but the damping and spring rates have been tweaked. You still feel the road, but it doesn't punish you in the same way. Up front, the forks have better internals, which means less dive under braking and more composure over mid-corner bumps. No, it's not going to ride like a luxury tourer, but it's definitely a step forward in comfort. Let's talk about the way this bike feels in real life. Picture yourself in the city, rolling through traffic. The bike's compact wheelbase and low seat height make it manageable, even if you're not the tallest rider. You're sitting low, slightly leaned back, with your hands on those mini-ape handlebars that give you a commanding position. The clutch pull isn't feather light, but it's not a workout either. Stoplights are easy, let out the clutch, roll on the torque, and you're moving with authority. In traffic, that torque makes a huge difference because you don't have to constantly downshift to find power. Now imagine you've broken free of the city and you're on a set of winding backroads. The Iron 1200 is not a sport bike, let's be honest. The lean angles are modest, around 27 or 28 degrees, and you will scrape pegs if you push it. But ridden within its limits, it's stable, predictable, and fun. The weight, around 555 to 560 pounds wet, gives it presence on the road, but it's not so heavy that it feels clumsy. The improved suspension helps it hold a line through sweepers, and the wider bars give you good leverage to guide it where you want it. On the highway, things are a little different. This is where the Iron 1200 shows both its strengths and weaknesses. The engine has plenty of torque to keep you cruising at 70 or 80 miles per hour, but wind protection is minimal. You feel the air pressing against your chest, and on longer rides, that can get tiring. Vibration is noticeable, the air-cooled V-twin isn't shy about sending pulses through the bars and pegs. Some riders love that mechanical feedback, others will find it fatiguing after an hour or two. The solo seat is stylish and works for short to medium rides, but again, on a cross-country trip you'll want either an upgrade or a different Harley altogether. Still, for weekend highway blasts or moderate road trips, the Iron 1200 holds its own. Now let's slow down and really look at the design, because the Iron 1200 has always been about style as much as substance. The silhouette is pure Harley Sportster, compact, muscular, with a low stance that looks aggressive even when it's parked. The tank is the star here, and in 2026 it comes with bold retro graphics that call back to the 1970s, stripes that stretch across the tank, giving it a classic yet modern vibe. The colors range from stealthy blacks and grays to more vibrant options, but no matter which you pick, the blacked out finishes on the engine, exhaust, wheels, and controls tie the whole look together. Lighting is now fully LED, and that makes a big difference both in function and style. The headlamp has a clean ring of light that gives it a modern signature, while the LED turn signals and tail light are sharp and crisp. At night, the bike is more visible, and in daylight, the LEDs look premium. The wheels are cast aluminum with a 9-spoke design, finished in black, giving them a tough, industrial look. Tires are chunky and fill the arches perfectly, reinforcing that muscular stance. The seat is a solo cafe-style perch that hugs your body, giving you the sensation of sitting in the bike rather than on top of it. The rear fender is minimal, keeping the back end tight and uncluttered. Harley offers accessories to turn it into a 2-up setup, but the single-seat look is part of what makes the Iron 1200 so stylish. Now, let's talk about what sets this bike apart. First is the customization potential. Harley knows that Iron 1200 buyers like to make their bikes their own, and the 2026 version is designed to be a canvas. Whether you want a different exhaust, new handlebars, a custom seat, or cosmetic touches, the aftermarket and Harley's own accessory catalog will have you covered. Second is the torque-first character. This isn't a bike that wants to be revved to the moon. It wants to give you power right where you use it most, down low and in the mid-range. Third is the style. The dark custom look, the blacked-out finishes, the retro graphics, it's an attitude on two wheels. Of course, no bike is perfect. The Iron 1200 isn't built for long-distance comfort. The suspension is better but still basic compared to higher-end cruisers. Lean angle is limited, so if you want to carve hard in the corners, this isn't your machine. And while the vibration adds character, some riders may find it tiring. But all of these are conscious trade-offs. Price is always a big question, so let's talk numbers. Back in 2021, the Iron 1200 started at $12,999 in the US. In 2020, it was closer to $9,999. With inflation, new features, and updated parts, the 2026 Iron 1200 is likely going to land somewhere between $14,000 and $15,500 in the US base, before you add accessories or premium colors. Outside the US, taxes and import duties will raise that figure. Still, it remains one of the more accessible Harleys, especially when compared to Softails or touring models, which can easily stretch into the mid-$20,000s. Thanks for spending time with BikeBeat on this deep dive into the 2026 Harley-Davidson Iron 1200. I hope this gave you a clear picture of what the bike is, what it isn't, and who it's for. Drop a comment below and let me know, would you go for this bike, or would you lean toward Harley's newer liquid-cooled Sportster S? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a ride. Until next time, ride safe, ride loud, and keep the passion alive.